hoping you guys can see me because I didn't bring my my tablet and I don't know what you're saying. So I'm gonna keep going around to check my phone to see what you're saying, so bear with me, okay? I just need someone to confirm that they can see and that it's not backwards. Let's see. Hello. Welcome back. Let's see if someone can tell me if they can see that perfectly. Let's see. All right, bam. I can't see your comments, you guys, because I forgot my tablet and I've been just handling business. But I'm gonna show you something that I look for whenever I'm entering a trade, okay? Number one, it feels good to be back. I feel like I've been away for God knows how long. I haven't been in my office in, I don't know, 2 weeks, I think. But one thing I look for when I'm entering a trade, okay, after I've analyzed my trade, typically, and this is not indicator based, we're talking about technically, but usually there's some level of support or resistance. There's a trend line, there's what I call zones, anything that can help me essentially track price and respect market structure to help me make a better decision of what my next move is. So after I've analyzed my chart on a higher time frame, now I personally recommend always analyzing the daily. That's just my personal recommendation to anybody that's trading. And you want to make sure that you find an area, you at least understand the direction. Okay, so when you go on a higher time frame, you want to double check and make sure you understand what direction the trade is going in, so that you don't, if you are going to trade against the trend, you know that it's only for a certain amount of pips, or you just know, you have more knowledge. Okay, so I always recommend going to the daily and finding direction. Okay, that's number one. So for some reason this marker isn't. So you want to go to the daily or higher time frame and figure out direction. Okay, that's number one. You need to know, where is this going? When you're on the daily, you also need to make sure that you are not at a stopping point. Okay, so for example, if you're on the daily and there's a buy on the daily, but you don't realize that you're at an all-time high of the daily, and you go and put in a buy and you wonder why the trade all of a sudden just plummeted and became completely bearish and reversed, it's because you weren't aware that there was an all-time high. So whatever higher time frame you look at, whether it's a daily, the 4 hour, the weekly, you need to always look at the high and a low. Okay, so always look for a high and a low, above and below price. Okay, and I'm giving out some nuggets here. So you want to locate a high and low. Okay, so a high above price, a low below price. Now what does that do? That lets you see that this is a potential stopping point. So if you're scalping this trade, you're intradaying this trade, you're working on the 1 hour, 15-minute, 4 hour, whatever it is that you're doing, you know that once it hits this certain high based on your experience, it's a potential for a pullback, a reversal, or some type of change. So you either need to take partial profits, take profits, get out, whatever it is, or hold on to the trade, whatever it is that you want to do. But by you doing this, you now determine where there are stopping points in the market and have set yourself up to basically not become manipulated. Okay? So now after you do that, what are you going to do? All right? You're going to look for entry. You're going to look for entry. If you have a setup, my handwriting sucks, y'all. Okay? Look for entry. Once you get your setup, once you determine, your high and your low, you go down to your smaller time frame, you start looking for your entry. So whether you use trend lines, whether you use levels, whether you use zones, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you're using to help you really see what's going on with the price, here's the number one thing that I do. This is what I look for, okay? I know when my team's on this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm hoping you can see what I'm writing. I should probably check, because I could be thinking this live's going good and then you guys don't see anything. See? Can you guys see? Let's see. Yeah, there's a strong echo, but you'll be all right. Focus on the knowledge. Let me see. Can you see? Do I have it right? Oh my Lord, why did I mess with this? Bam. Okay. So now, once you have that area of entry that you're interested in, you want to look for what I like to call is like my confirmation. It's the retest. Okay? I literally have given my team a crap ton of homework about this because it's one of the most important ways to just basically, I don't even know if it's a word, but I'm going to make it a word, validify or validate my direction and where I'm going with this trade. So, for example, let's say I have support. Okay? This is my support. Let's just say price is, it's done this, right? Did this, wasn't able to create any more lower lows, so it's just been consolidating, and then we get a breakout, your impulse, okay? Some people like to trade this impulse. I don't trade the impulse because I know the market always pulls back, typically once and sometimes 2 times, depending on what pair you trade. I know the pair I trade likes to pull back twice, okay? And my pullbacks are usually 30 to 20 initially, and then the 61.8 on the fib. So I know in my initial pullback right here, when I have this level of support, I'm not going to get in for the buy up here. It's going to have to pull back because of the impulse, and the market has to correct the move. Whenever there's a huge impulse like this, a correction typically occurs. And if there's some type of news, the market will usually correct at least 50%. So if you put your fib on the news candle, you'll see that there's typically, for the most part, a 50% correction, sometimes even more, or close to 50%. So if I see this impulse here, what I'm looking for in my support is basically for the market to come back, correct itself, and land on that level of support or my trend line, whatever you're using, to confirm that it is unable to penetrate my level of support, okay? It's unable to penetrate it, and now we have a change in direction, and the market begins to create higher highs and higher lows, and then we repeat, okay? So the retest, this right here, is where the money's at. This is where you need to perfect your entry. For all of you that are having a problem with entry, which I'm very good at, I have a big head about it because I'm good at it, and my team's amazing at it. But when you sit here and that market sits right on there, and you get that candle that closes above your support or your trend line or whatever it is, that is where you start looking for your entry. That is what you want, that pullback, that correction, that retest, okay? If you're using your fib, you can draw your fib from your low to your high and see if you get a 30-20 on your initial impulse, and then you can take it up and then you get a 61.8, okay? If you're not using your fib, you can just use your level of support as long as it's a validated level of support. So as long as it's been respected before in the past, okay, you know that this would be a strong level or zone or whatever it is that you're using, okay? And you know to get in there. When you master the pullback and when to get in, you'll have minimal drawdown. And although I don't like people who use improper risk to reward, when you master that, you'll be able to see, like most of my trades, I think I have like a 4-pip drawdown in most of my trades. That allows me to use higher lot sizes and be a little bit more risque per se because I have really good entry. Now, it doesn't mean that I only make my stop loss 10 pips. No, I still use a significant, like a nice stop loss to give my trade room. You have to let your trade breathe. You have to be comfortable with what you're willing to lose. So if let's say for example, my stop loss is 35 pips, okay? I have to understand that if I'm using a standard, I may lose $350 in order to make whatever my goal is. And I'm okay with that personally. If you're not okay with that, don't just not take the trade. Get in the trade, but reduce your lot size and start looking at your analysis, start looking at your charts. If they don't go as planned, don't just go and delete your markup. Go back and analyze and see what did you do wrong? What could you have done better? Did you need to go down to a smaller time frame to actually look at the retest or the correction? Did you wait too long to get in? What was it that you did? Did you not pay attention to news? Did you not pay attention to market structure? Did you draw your support level in the wrong place or your trend line in the wrong place? You always want to analyze your trades, but the number one thing I look for, y'all, y'all, is the retest. And that's my couple nuggets actually for the day. So I'm sorry if you guys think there's an echo in here. You should be able to hear me. If not, I'll delete the video and you lost the nugget. But I wanted to share this with you guys because trading is really all about repeated patterns, behavioral patterns, paying attention to how the market reacts to certain levels. And once you understand that, you'll have a lot of success. And then it's literally just about mastering your entry, which to me is the easiest thing in the world. The hardest thing about trading is the discipline, the patience, and not being greedy once you get good. Because you have to understand that you're always going to leave money on the table. Okay, you're always going to leave money on the table. If you think you're going to get in on the complete move, you're being retarded. Okay, don't do that. Like, there's always going to be a pullback. So like, let's say you got in right here and you got out here. Let's just say. Now me, I hold it because I have a long-term goal. Like I told you in the beginning of this video, you could have gotten in on the pullback because now you have a trend line. Okay, now you have a trend line that you can draw. That's being respected 1, 2, 3 times. You can draw your fib from the low to the high, and you can use your fib if you want, or you can just see how the market, how price action respects your trend line. And trend lines are very, very strong. So this is an opportunity for an entry. This is an opportunity for an entry, as long as it's creating higher highs. Once you see that it's creating a double top, expect a huge pullback down. It could be a fake out, and then it may go up, or it may change direction, break out, retest this trend line, and go down. Okay? So, yeah, that's my nugget. Bye.